Hey everybody, it's David, Marketing Manager at Thera Wellness. Today is the second week of our second annual Project Time trial, where we see how much faster Biofield therapy can make me around a specific track in a time trial race. In case you don't remember, a time trial is a style of bicycle race where you just compete against the clock. There's no mass start, one person goes, and then a minute later another person goes, and it's just about who can complete the course in the fastest time. So let me bring you in and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I can never remember the programs that make up the sequence, so I save them. So we'll go into Program Sequences, Own Sequences, and here's the one. And I'll hit Enter, and then I'll hit Enter again. And now that we're ready to run, I'm going to take 2 chips, one for each thigh, and a pendant, and I'll put them all in the chip charger. And then I have 2 input applicator mats, one for each thigh. And I have some input cables. And I'm just making sure that I'm not hooking things up to each other. And here we are. And these need to go against the skin. So I'm going to put them on my hamstrings, since those are actually the muscles that I find need the most support. And with that, I'm going to go to channel 2. We're going to go to substance complexes, categories, and then we'll go down to musculoskeletal, enter. And then we want neck relief release. We chose this one because when I'm all tucked and trying to go as fast as I can, my neck actually needs a lot of support just so it doesn't get tight. And now that we're all ready to go, I'll press channel 1 to start. I'll see you on the course.
So as we're getting started here, I kind of want to foreshadow a bit. I was having front tire issues all afternoon. And then, a moment of pure genius, I forgot to take off my water bottles, which added about 3 pounds, considering they're stainless steel and they have a lot of water in them. So yeah, we're probably not going to see me do a better time this week than last week, but the power is still worth looking at to see if the Thera Wellness protocol had any effect. And going out here, things are looking really promising. I am putting out a ton of watts for me. This was, looking at the data afterwards and looking at Strava, I set 1, 3, and 5 minute power PRs for the first part of this race. And through the steep part, and now coming up on this guy, I think I'm going to pass him. So I kind of get on his wheel to get a little bit of aerodynamic benefit, even at this speed that can, still matter. Not much, but it does. And then I move over to his left to try and pass him. And the power is going to pick up again. And we're just going at it. He speeds up. And in a few minutes here, or a few seconds, you will see him go. And I'm not passing, and he takes off. He may have been doing some kind of interval workout, I don't know, but as much as I would like to stay on his wheel and keep trucking, I just don't have the legs to do it today. So we're gonna keep going here. And here we are coming up on the last fork, and I know that the summit is in sight. So I'm just doing everything I can to get over it. The worst of the route is almost over, and we're pedaling. Coming up here, you'll see one of the entrance points for a car, and thankfully it is not an issue, because we're just going to go, and almost there. There's the car. If he's not smart, he'll get in my way. Thankfully, he goes on ahead. And now I'm at the summit. I'm starting to shift into harder gears and try and keep the power up. And now I'm in my large chainring, and we are off to the races. Coming into this corner, I think I handled this pretty well, getting into the drops, and then we turned. Overall, I think this was pretty decent. I'm not the best at these sharp decelerate and accelerate turns, but I think I did a pretty good job there. And coming up on this intersection, we can see that there are quite a few cars. One of them, this white car, almost goes into me, but I yell at him and he thankfully waits for me to pass. And once again, we're off. And here's our friend again. I'm guessing he finished whatever workout he was doing, because he's taking it easy, as is his right. And so now we're off again. Coming into the final stretch before the second big turn, I'm tucking pretty well, and we're coming up to it. I get in the drops to control better, and then I brake, and I flubbed it. I came in too fast. And counterintuitively, if you go slower into a turn to a point, you can come out faster. And I did not do a good job. And we're just kind of cruising along this descent. My power's pretty decent, but speed could be a little bit better. Here's a little uphill kicker. That's just part of the route. And as we come around this last little bend, we are getting into the final sharp descent of the course. This one is quite a bit of fun. I get into it, I shift into some harder gears, and I start pushing. And here comes the clear where we can see the turn. I get the drops, and I come in too fast. And you'll see me almost go into the curb. Not my best moment. So I'm getting back up to speed as best I can. And I also, just in my haze, take the wrong line. I really should have ridden to the left of all this road awfulness, but I didn't. I'm also coming to this turn slower than I did last week, and my turn is not as sharp, not as pretty. So it's just a straight shot down beach drive back to the start. One of the nice things about having a power meter is on sections like this, it really keeps you honest. And seeing that, oh, I'm slacking off a bit, I need to pick it up. So that's a fun little bit of technology. And now we're coming around my favorite little bend. And here we're coming into the end of the beach drive section, and I'm looking down. I see the time. You can see the time. I know I'm not going to make it, but I'm doing my best I can, popping up on the sidewalk and then into this last little turn. Next week, I think I'm going to try and take the grass. I just wasn't feeling it today. A little bit of a sprint to get back to the finish. And we're going. And again, you can see the time. I can see the time. It is not good. But we are going to push through. And we're almost there. And we're almost there. And that's the finish. The official time was 16:13. And yeah, that's 16 seconds slower. I think that's, that's not good. But my power numbers were overall identical last week, except for that first section. So that's disappointing. There could have been other things going on. I feel like I was maybe a little bit more aero this week than last week. Just I tucked a little bit better. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to measure that. There are ways, but it's rather expensive. And so, results inconclusive. We'll try to do better next week. We're going to come back with the same protocol and see what happens. And I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.